Today we explore what's in my camera bag for 2023. So this is almost a twofer video, like an everyday carry and what's in my camera bag, because finally, after a long awaited couple years, we've been traveling a lot more these last few months. When putting together this camera bag, I wanted to build it around the idea that I could either A, build it up for a creative side, like if I need to pack all my camera equipment in there and I got hired for a project, or B, it could be utilized as an everyday carry while being a content creator. So starting off, that's why I went with the most recent Nomadic Peter McKinnon collaboration backpack. I was a little weary on the price, and because of the fact that Peter McKinnon is so big, I've never really experienced this backpack in real life. I just only seen it online. So I was a little cautious on the idea that it was actually worth the money that it was priced at. And man, does this thing deliver. So you have this main giant compartment, and you can utilize some of the additions that they provide in the backpack to make it either an everyday carry or be more creative focused. On top of that, you have a lot of storage on the back side. You have more than enough room in the laptop sleeve to carry something around like a 16-inch MacBook. Lots of little storage compartments to put things, tuck cables, everything that you need for any device that you're carrying. Oh, and by the way, it's water resistant. It's a dream for somebody that likes to be on the go, a little run and gun content creator camera bag. Now, everything that goes into the bag has been everything that I've been using as a full-time content creator as of lately. First and foremost, we have the iPhone 14 Pro. For some people, it may seem weird to include this into my tech kit for 2023, but honestly, I use this phone so much. Over the last couple updates with iPhones, with the camera technology, I've actually used just the iPhone camera for a lot of stuff that I do. In fact, some of the most viral videos I did in this last year came from my iPhone, and nobody could even tell the difference, especially because I did use my cinematic LUT pack available at biggie.co. From a phone software standpoint, I kind of prefer Android, but the iPhone is still amazing. I like the fact that they have a pro version in a compact form. I get all the high-end quality from this. I get all the camera features, and then it's integrated into everything else that I have. Next, we have the main camera that I've been using, the Sony a7 Mark IV. This thing came out around a year ago, and it's one of my favorite cameras that I've ever had. It is a absolute run and gun hybrid. Right now I'm shooting on the main cinema camera I have, the Sony FX3, but to be fairly honest, especially as a content creator and with traveling, I've been using the a7 IV a lot lately. It takes amazing photos. It has a lot of good video quality options. It's just a good all-around hybrid. On the a7 IV, I have one of my favorite lenses that's been going in my camera bag and that I've been using every single day, the Sony 35mm f1.4. This thing is amazing. I mean, just look at it right here. The second lens that I use on a day-by-day basis is my Sony 16 to 35mm f2.8. Yes, I kept it. For some people, you may have watched a video a while ago where I was like, I'm gonna turn this thing in, get the Sigma. I tested out the Sigma for a week. I ended up returning the Sigma, and I still have the 16 to 35. I'm still kind of on the fence, especially with having the 35 and then also having the 20. But for now, my everyday use, what goes in my bag is the 16 to 35 and the 35 1.4. A lot of people have been asking what filters I use. I use a Pro Mist on my cinema camera. This shot that you always see here, it's got the 1/4 Pro Mist from Tiffin. Then I use a Tiffin polarizer for the 35mm. And then finally on the 16 to 35, I use a Freewell variable ND mist filter. It's really similar to Peter McKinnon's variable ND mist filter, but it costs like a fraction of the price. Now for my travel or on the go microphone, or even just something I use for vlogging or just recording videos like this, I use the Sony dedicated EC, I gotta always remember what this is, ECM-B1M. Sony, why do we name things the way we name things? Let's chill out on that. Anyways, while this microphone is expensive and is a Sony exclusive microphone, this thing is amazing. It's one of the best investments I've ever made. This thing is completely digital into the hot shoe of the camera, which means I don't have to actually use the audio jack cable, which for me in the past, I actually had to send cameras back because I was constantly plugging and unplugging the microphone jack because I don't always like to have a microphone on the camera. So I was super annoyed that those ports would go out on me. So moving to digital to where I could just plug it into the top and not have to have a cable, it's just like a super win-win. And then on top of that, you get lots of options, including what direction you want the audio to actually be recording. And then also you have a built-in noise canceling on the microphone too, which is just so clutch. Next, every day recently, I've been carrying this Red Key. That's not supposed to be in there. Another video to come. Another camera that I actually like to have on me at almost all times anymore is the GoPro 9 Black. The GoPro is insane. Like the options that you get now in 2023 with the recent GoPros over the last couple of years, like so many recording quality options, time lapses, 5K high resolution, the stabilization, and then it's such a clutch little camera that can just be tucked away. You can record outside during different elements. I don't know. For some reason, I've just been using the GoPro a lot this last year. And again, it's kind of like the iPhone. The quality options that we get on the GoPros, the iPhones, a lot of these new cell phone cameras to have more control in post while we're editing. It's easier than ever to make it look like these weren't recorded on a GoPro and phone, that they were recorded on a high-end DSLR camera. Quick friendly reminder before we get into the next thing, make sure you guys are subscribing, turning on the notifications to the channel if you're not already. Hit the thumbs up button if you're enjoying today's video. Let's keep building this channel up to hit that 100,000 subscribers this year. So whether it's a morning walk, working downstairs, or traveling, I've been using the Apple AirPods Pro Generation 2. I have the Generation 1 as well. I don't know if it's necessarily worth the upgrade for anybody. That's a whole separate video, but I've been utilizing both. I'd like to keep one pair here in the house, and then I just make sure I have another pair in the car. So that way, if I go somewhere, go for a hike, go to the gym, traveling, and then I forget to grab the pair that's in here, I have the backup pair ready to go. Next thing on me every single day is my Apple Watch. One big thing that I personally like about the Apple ecosystem that I've adapted to in this last year is the integration to organize my day by day. I'm huge on that. I even have notes that we'll talk about here in a second, but I love the idea of just being able to talk to this thing and remind myself something or keep notes or work on a video while I'm out and about. I'll actually be doing my morning half hour to hour walks. I'll jot down ideas on my Apple Watch while I'm walking. I'll just like do the text to speech, or I'll even use this to help finish off writing a video when I'm just like out and about and I got some downtime. I guess as a content creator, one of the most important things is like the value of like what you're doing with your time. I don't like to waste time too much anymore. I like to try new things and I want to actually create more and more content. So having that optimization around me is super clutch. And then on top of that, tracking workouts, stuff like that, keeping up to date with people. I every day I'm wearing this thing. From there, we might as well dive into the powerhouse. Now, typically it's just sitting here on the desk, so I use it every single day. But even if I'm out and about, if I go downstairs or I'm traveling with the camera bag, it goes with me. But that is the M1 Max MacBook Pro 16-inch edition. Apple should thank whoever developed this or came up with this idea, because I've completely switched everything that I do from a creative standpoint and just my day by day over to Apple because of the MacBook. To be able to have the ability to create content like this on the go is, I don't know, it's just still mind-blowing to me. And then, like I said, once I tapped into the Apple ecosystem on the MacBook, I was hooked for the organization to just have everything seamlessly connected across the board. Another thing I make sure I have in my camera bag, camera straps. I know these seem lame, you're going from a MacBook to camera straps, but these are actually really important. Nowadays, some of these cameras are costing $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, and you don't want to have a strap. What are you thinking? So about a year ago, I switched over to the Peak design straps, where it's got this just little hook and clip thing to where I can have that on the camera mount at all times and simply just hook it, and this thing is sturdy. I personally make sure in the backpack I have a wrist strap and then a neck strap as well. Another thing I like to personally have on me is an external hard drive, mainly to organize stuff that I'm working on, to just kind of have that separation so that way it's just not lost somewhere on the computer. So for the last few years, I've been personally using the external lacy rugged hard drive. This thing can travel through anything. It's been through a lot with me. It's a tough external hard drive that works really well. But lately, for around here, I did switch to an external SSD hard drive that I actually built myself. Pros to this is it's like one of the fastest external hard drives I've ever used in my entire life. It's like it's just built right into the computer. The downside is it is a little expensive, and again, you kind of have to build it yourself, so you have to do that shopping. If you guys would be interested in a video on that by itself, feel free to let me know and I'll make one. But I really like to use this hard drive to kind of keep a lot of my creative stuff that I use for videos, including my LUTs that I use for my videos that are available at biggie.co. I apologize apologize. I just keep hooking myself with the ability to make that plug. For the drone, I switched to the DJI Mini 3 Pro. To be honest, I was over drones for a while. This whole like licensing stuff and like where to fly and like everybody was just doing drone stuff for so long. I just kind of outgrew it. I have another Mavic Pro downstairs and I just didn't use it for a long time. And the next thing you know, this came out. I was like, I'm gonna give it a try. I'm gonna test it out. And I just love flying this thing. Clutch little drone, doesn't take up a lot of room, long battery life, high quality resolution, and it falls under the rules and regulations to be able to fly it where you want to. Now, for most cases, if I'm going somewhere to shoot, I'll bring one of my tripods that both of my cameras are on right now. But if not, I typically like to make sure that I bring a Joby Gorilla Pod with me as well. So that way, if I just need to mount my camera on something, I have that option. Again, as I said, I like to stay organized. So I like to make sure I bring field notes with me as well to just jot down any notes, to keep track of my day, to keep track of my week, and just stay up to date on everything that I need to get done for whatever I'm working on, or just quality of life things that I need to do. Another little thing that I use every single day, and this is gonna be important for my camera nerds out there, especially the Sony shooters, the newer Sonys have a CF Express Type A card option. So I got a card reader for that. The reason why this is so important is if you buy the dedicated one from Sony, it's super expensive. I'll be sure to leave an Amazon link to the one that I do use. It's super reliable. Another little tiny thing that I like to make sure I have in my camera bag, especially since I have a MacBook, is an Ethernet to Lightning bolt port. A lot of recent laptops and MacBooks don't have an Ethernet port anymore. So you just simply plug that into a USB Type-C port and it just works right through there. Can't get things in life without having a wallet. Still using my gold Ridge wallet, hashtag not an ad. And I'm still a pocket knife fan, and I've just been using the little carbon fiber pocket knife from Ridge wallet as well. For any of my EDC boys out there, if you guys have a pocket knife option that I should upgrade to in 2023, let me know. Every day, I gotta have my water jugs. This is the main water jug I use. I think it's a 64 ounce water jug. Both are the insulated cup options. I got this one from Christmas from my boy Jayhawk last year as well. I put my logo on the side, got my name on there. Yeah, but yeah, I make sure I have water jugs every single day, and I'll leave a link in the description to something like this. And then since our boy Jayhawk is starting the shoe trend on YouTube, these have been my everyday shoes that I just love to wear. I love to travel in these. I love to just hang out in these. Like, they're just so sick. These are the Jordan 1 Low OG EXs, and I absolutely love these colors. I'm usually rocking these every day. If you see me at an event, if you see me out in public, I probably have these on as of lately.